Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Risen Fallen podcast. I am your host, Mark Henriksen, and if you are brand new to this podcast, what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health, self-development, and how to get your life moving in the right direction, feeling like, even if you're not in the place you want to be right now, feeling confident that, you're moving in the right direction, closer and closer to the future you that you want to be. And if you are not new to this content, if you are a returning listener or returning viewer, I just want to say thank you very much for coming back, supporting the show, supporting the content, supporting the movement, and basically just letting others know that it's okay not to be okay. And whether you're brand new or not, you are the reason that I do what I do. Yes, you listening. And so, I just wanted to give this short little episode about a little update in my life and one of the lessons that I took out of it today. Well, yesterday, today. Happy Thursday. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Thursday. It's the Friday to Friday, as I like to say. We are kicking it through this week. And I just want to kind of give you guys a little update. So about 2 months ago, almost now, I was at the landfill. As you know, I work in construction, and I get to the landfill. I open up the door. I'm grabbing my gloves. I'm grabbing some stuff I got to throw out there, and getting ready to unload the bed of my truck that's full of dirt. And somebody thinks it's a great idea to drive into my door and bend my back door into my front door as I'm standing there. And it was by the grace of God. I I'm uninjured. I'm all right. So we can rule that out. But it took my insurance about a month and a half to get that sorted out and realize that that was his fault for running into an open door at a landfill. And I was pretty bitter about how long it was taking for my insurance to deal with all that. And, until they got that figured out, sorted out, I was basically on standby and waiting to get my truck repaired. So for the last month and a half, 2 months, my truck door, the back driver's side door, has been held on by a combination of ratchet straps and tape to keep it weather tight. And it's been rather frustrating, to say the least. And so I've kind of voiced a little bit of that frustration out on the podcast. And if you've talked to me in person recently, then I've probably talked to you about that as well. But anyways, needless to say, so this past weekend, I go to Merritt for a little fishing trip, little camping trip with the boys. And, unfortunately, as I'm driving there, I get a bunch of service lights and something slips in my truck. I don't know if it's my diff or maybe one of the axles. I'm not 100% sure. But when I turn the wheels all the way, my truck doesn't want to move. And this is the same week that I get the call from my insurance saying, yes, the other driver was 100% at fault for hitting your door. You can go and get your truck fixed. And I was like, okay, well, that's rather convenient because my truck has to go to the shop anyways. And so I go to the shop. I'm like, hey, I know you guys are just basically going to fix my door and touch up some paint here and there. But there's a couple other issues in my truck. I wrote them a little list of things to just check into and hopefully fix. I'm like, yeah, no worries. Just take care of it separately. Bill me separately. I don't mind paying. I'd rather get it all done at once and get the truck taken care of all at once. And they end up having a courtesy car for me. It's not a truck, so it does kind of hinder my ability to do some things at work. Obviously, like pick up drywall, pick up sheets of plywood, pick up lumber, etc. But it fits all my tools in the truck for the most part, in the trunk, of the car. And, I'm still able to go to work. I'm still able to make some money and earn a living. So I'm pretty stoked on that. And, this kind of, reminds me of, the idea or the story of I think it's a Chinese farmer, or the ancient proverb about the farmer which I've talked about multiple times on this podcast. But essentially, you never really know when events happen to you in life are a good thing or a bad thing, because I know that if I had gotten, my door fixed earlier, and I got my truck back from the shop, I'm like, oh, I'm in the clear, and then this happened, I'd be like, oh, damn, now I got to go back to the shop and get this fixed again. It's kind of one of those situations where it's like, you don't really know whether what's happening to you is good or bad at the moment. So all you can really do is stay present and control what you can control and do what you can do on a daily basis. So obviously there's hiccups along the way, but the message I wanted to give you guys today, it's a quick little reminder just before the weekend to kind of shift your mindset a little bit if possible, is just understanding that you don't know the timing and the planning and the schedule of God. You don't know the universe or whatever you believe, the creator. I don't know what the creator of the simulation we're living in, whatever you think is the reality that we're living in. You don't understand the timing, and you're not supposed to. These things are out of our control, and you have no idea what kinds of things you're being saved from, or what kinds of things, the lessons that you're supposed to be taught until these things happen. And I just wanted to give you guys this little reminder that sometimes things that seem like a curse could be a blessing, and some of these things, they're ultimately outside of our control. And so just to take, if we were going to take a little takeaway from this episode, it's just to understand that some of these things happen on divine timing, and they're outside of our control completely. And all you can do is live every single day with hiccups, ups and downs, financial stress, work stress, relationship stress. Take all of those things, on a daily basis. Take them day by day, and just understand that everything that seems like, it could be a terrible thing could end up leading you on a path to greater good. And some of the things that end up like that you think are going to be extreme blessings, sometimes don't turn out the exact way that you think either. And who knows how much stress, how much money, how much stuff, how much this is going to cost me in the future, having to fix whatever is wrong with my truck right now. But like the whole theme of this episode, all I can do is take it day by day. So I just want to give you guys a little update and a little lesson that I learned recently. These things, it's so funny because you hear these types of lessons, and this is something I was referencing on an episode, I think it was last Monday. So you hear these types of lessons, you hear these types of wisdoms that you hear about, you hear them and you think, okay, I know that to be true. And then when an event comes up in your life, if you think reflectively, if you keep a journal like I do, or you listen back to your own thoughts somehow, maybe you just kind of listen to your own thoughts, you really start to understand these types of wisdoms, these lessons a lot more, and you start to actually be able to visualize yourself in past events, events that you're dealing with currently, events that you could deal with in the future, and you think, oh, that's what that lesson means. And, back to that story of the ancient farmer who, he has a horse, the horse runs away. Everyone's like, wow, that's such bad news. He goes, maybe. The horse comes back the next day with, 10 other wild horses. Everyone's like, wow, that's such great news. He says, maybe. The son of the farmer is taming one of the horses. The horse bucks him off and he breaks his leg. Everyone's like, wow, that's such bad news. He says, maybe. The next day, the government comes and conscripts all the military-age boys, but his gets to stay home because he's injured. Everyone says, wow, you're so lucky. He says, maybe, and so on and so forth. You hear that story, you're like, wow, okay, I really understand. But then when something in your life happens where you're like, wow, this is so shitty, or wow, this is so great, it really starts to sink in that, you really have no idea what kinds of things you're being saved from, or what kinds of things are happening to you that seem like blessings that could be a little negative in the future in disguise. And I think that you really just you hear these lessons, you read about them maybe, or you hear about them on a podcast, and you think, okay, I understand that. And then when something in your life happens to you that relates to that, you're like, okay, I actually understand this now through my own trials and tribulations in my life. And so as of right now, the situation's all right. My truck is being taken care of. I will update you guys on that immediately when I know a bit more. But right now, my truck's being taken care of. The body shop's taking care of it, and then it's off to the mechanic at the same shop. So luckily, I told them just keep it as long as you need. I've got a courtesy car. I'm good. Just let me know when it's all good and I can drive my truck properly. I don't want to do any more damage to it than I need to. And I'm good to go. So I will update you guys more on that. I just wanted to, like I said, make a quick little episode on this idea of divine timing and not feeling all right with not understanding what divine timing is doing for you. Feeling okay knowing that, you're not supposed to understand every single thing that happens in your life. It's okay to be just kind of like a little bit confused, a little bit anxious. It's okay. And all you can do is the best that you can do on a daily basis. You're not supposed to figure out every single issue. And, it's okay to rely on others to help you out as well. Because I'm definitely a DIY guy. I definitely like to do a lot of repairs on my vehicles myself. But, know when it's out of your hands and know when something is a little bit out of your pay grade. And to call somebody that might know a lot more than you know about what you do. Or about what they do, or what you're trying to do. So those are the big takeaways of today's episode: is know when you need to ask for help, and also that sometimes there's just things in life that are going to seem like a curse, but it might be a blessing in disguise. Sometimes there's going to be things that seem really great in the beginning, and then there's a big lesson waiting for you, and you're not supposed to understand the timing, and you can't control the timing. And sometimes life is just going to throw you curveballs, and sometimes it's going to end up working more conveniently than you expect, and sometimes it's going to fucking suck. But all you can do on a daily basis is the best that you can do. Be the best you that you can possibly be, and keep a positive mind state. That's all I was going to share with you guys today. So short and sweet little episode for you. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, rate it 5 stars, leave a little review. And regardless of what you're watching or listening on, share this with a friend if you feel like they maybe need to hear this message. Their lives could be improved by hearing a message like this, or if you just want to help support your boy and support the movement. We do have the Risen Fallen meetups. If you're in Vancouver, we go for hikes. We do group calls. We have a group chat on Telegram. If you're interested in linking up with that, message me on Instagram. It's at Risen Fallen. And if you want to support the movement even more, you can cop a hoodie or a tee at risenfallen.com. All the proceeds go towards the in-person meetups and making sure that people get taken care of. So on that note, happy Thursday. I will check in with you guys on Monday. Much love and peace out, you beautiful human beings. I love you all. Bye.